This is the Tech Deck Pro Series board that a lot of people probably remember. This board has already existed for a year and a half, and I feel like most people kind of just forgot about it. This board had so much hype when it first released, and now pretty much no one is using it. So let's take a look at this board after a year and a half and see if it's even worth getting. It's already been a year since this came out. How does that make sense? Some of you might actually remember I made a prediction about this board like a month before it actually came out. So I'm basically a genius. I pretty much just looked at a Tech Deck on a box, made a random prediction video, and it happened to be correct. This is the box for Tech Deck DIY Concrete, and this actually came out like almost an entire year before this. If you look closely at the wheels on this board, you can see there's actually a little bearing there. When I saw that, I knew they were probably working on a new board because like, why would they have that on a box? Long story short, I was actually correct. They made a pro board. This board was a little bit different than I think people were expecting. This board is $90 Canadian, which is probably around like $60 American. Around $60 sounds pretty expensive for a fingerboard if you're not into it, but that's actually about like a pretty average price for like a pro board. But let's just say this board it's not quite pro for a few reasons. In terms of the deck, it's actually not even that bad. This board basically just blends in with any other pro board, which is kind of cool to see. When this first came out as well, I saw a ton of people just upgrading it as well, like sanding the edges better, putting like better grip tape on, and then it's probably a pretty good board. The first thing pretty much everyone was talking about this board when it first came out was just how gigantic the grip tape is. When you look at normal grip tape, it's just like pretty slim and it looks pretty natural for the most part, but this stuff is just thick. Like, I don't know why it was necessary to make the grip tape that thick. Like, I have made fingerboard decks thinner than the grip tape on this board. It's actually like the same thickness as like the G16 board. So the grip tape is super thick on this board, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot because you can just replace it and it's also super cheap to replace. But if we now look at the pro wheels, it's not looking too good. I'm pretty sure Tech Deck developers looked at a bearing and thought they were the first ones to come up with putting it in a fingerboard wheel. Like, these guys thought if they put a bearing in any basic piece of plastic that's round, it's gonna be a pro wheel. And that is basically what they did with this board. These things don't even spin straight. These wheels also have two different layers to them, and I was also seeing the outside layer just come right off on some people's boards, which isn't what you want to see for $90. The outside piece of the wheel comes off super easy. These wheels do slide very well, but that's not the most important part about a wheel. The outside of this wheel is also made from like a rubber, which basically just makes it way too grippy. For me and a lot of other people, I'm pretty sure the trucks were probably the most surprising part about this board, because these things are honestly not bad. They have an inverted kingpin, which I wouldn't say makes them better, but it's definitely like an upgrade. They also have an entire pivot cup, and these trucks are honestly pretty good. Now, something I found pretty interesting is over on Amazon, there's actually two different versions of this board now. One of them appears to be the exact same board I'm talking about, but the other one has something different about it. When you look at this board, it looks like they might have actually fixed some of the flaws. For one, the grip tape looks quite a bit slimmer, which is good to see, but the wheels on this board actually look like they're completely brand new. There's also a whole new lineup of graphics, which is really cool to see, and something's also different about these. These boards have not even been released. It says that this item is going to be released on July 7th. That is coming up like really quick. Now, I don't really know whether the new series of this board is going to be like a brand new release with like a lot of hype, or if it's just going to be a subtle change to the Pro Series board, but it's going to be interesting to see. If this is just like a change to the Pro Series board, I would actually love to see just like a fully upgraded one of these boards, like to be released in a couple of years. I think if they refine the production of this board a little bit more, it could actually be like a legit Pro Series board. It just feels wrong to call this board a pro board compared to like other pro boards, but it's going to be interesting to see what the new one's like. I don't know if anything I said made sense, but we're gonna see if this is a new prediction. I would love to hear what some of you guys think about this board and kind of just what you would want to expect from like an upgraded version. So go ahead and drop a comment for what you guys want to see in the future from this board and kind of just what you think about this board after a year and a half. I pretty much read every single comment under my videos, so if you drop a comment, I'm probably gonna see it. I just want to see what I can even do with this board. That was kind of first try. Pretty much like any other fingerboard, tricks still go, but they're just not consistent compared to other boards. Like, that was first try on the G16 board, and I did probably like 30 different tries on this. Let's do a heel flip on the G16 board, and now a heel flip on this. I don't even want to know how many tries that was. I'm not the best at heel flips, so like it kind of is all right. I'm not gonna fully blame the board, but I did it on the G16 board in like 5 tries, so I don't know. I would appreciate a like on this video, but no pressure at all. I appreciate you guys watching, like genuinely. And I will see you in my next video.